Hey folks, I'm Gadget Guy here, and you know, if you've been watching any of my videos, that I'm not a big fan of going negative for negative's sake. I don't like panning apps or gadgets or phones or tablets unless I've got a really good reason to. And my ire for the Twitter app on Android just could no longer be contained. It's making me really cranky, so I thought it was about time to get some of this off my chest and just share one of the things that really bums me out about the design of this app. Now, this is unfortunately the most full-featured app that I've been able to find for checking all of the various notifications for when someone follows you, for when someone favorites one of your tweets or retweets one of your tweets. But it's still kind of a pain if you have to manage multiple accounts. So here I'm on the main home screen. If you want to switch to a different account, you come up to your menu, and then you go down to accounts, and then you get this list of accounts, and you can tap on a different account, and that'll take you to the other account, and then you can see the tweets that are in that account. But after having used apps like Plume, I really wouldn't mind some kind of all-in-one view stream so that I don't have to toggle back and forth between different accounts. And also, there are plenty of times where I might see something on one account which is actually more appropriate for another account, and I'd like to retweet it or comment on it or reply to it from there. But in the stock Twitter app, that requires me to go back to a different account, and if I'm not following that account on this account, then I have to go and search for it, and maybe I don't want to follow them from this other account, but now I'm kind of stuck, so I've got to do all of this stuff manually. It's a big pain in the butt. Also, it's just kind of crappy design. So I've got a search button here, but I also have a find people button. Why isn't search and find people sort of the same function? So if I go into search, I can search on Twitter. Why isn't this taking me to the exact same feature as the find people? Because that's sort of like search, you know, searching for people. Oh, no, we're finding people, not searching for people. Silly gadget guy. But in terms of wasted design elements, it's this little Twitter icon here, which is useless unless you're one feature deep. And now I can go back, but this little birdie doesn't do anything. And this would be a perfect place to give us the option to switch accounts. Yes, I know some of this function gets broken anyway, because if I'm in my notifications, now if I tap that menu, I only get settings. I should be able to switch accounts no matter where I'm at. And maybe what would be cool is being able to switch accounts to the notifications of that other account. I think that would be perfectly reasonable. But if you think I'm crazy, like maybe this bird has to stay a static icon, that's not the way the Twitter app works on other phone platforms. So when I fire up my trusty Windows phone and I go into my Twitter app, I've got the same sort of general layout. Now, the Windows Phone Twitter app, we can all agree, is not nearly as full-featured as the Twitter app is for Android, but it still allows me to do one important thing. I can see exactly what account I'm in from this top bar, and when I tap on this little Twitter bird, I get the ability to switch accounts directly from that main view. And it doesn't matter. Let's say I go into my notifications. I can still tap on the bird and I can switch accounts. Let's say I want to see what's popular, what's hashtagging out there. It's going to take a little while to fire this up. Oh, this is all the activity and what's trending. Hey, you know what's also neat? Being able to switch accounts from that main bar. And when I do switch accounts, I then get a very clear indication of what account I'm in. So now I'm in the home of my old movie review show. We had a Twitter account that I still like to, post movie news to. I can go into my personal details on the account. I can go into my @replies on the account. I can handle everything from this account, and I know exactly what account I'm in. And when I'm done with this account, I can easily tap it and switch back to another account. So now if I switch back to my Android phone, I just kind of fire this up. What account do you think I'm in right now? There's no visual indication of what account I'm trying to manage from this screen. There's none, and there's no ability to quickly toggle it. So I've got to go to my menu. Oh no, I'm in my Some Gadget Guy account. Great, well what if I want to be in my Some Audio Guy account? And it's a multiple button presses just to get to a menu, to an option, and then to the account, and that drives me crazy. It's absolutely a first world problem, but for those of us who really enjoy our social media and being able to organize the relationships that we've made online, I've gotten huge benefit out of being on Twitter and interacting with people on Twitter. This is sort of a lifeline for me, and being able to communicate with other people through short form little mini text messages that I can broadcast publicly. And of all the Twitter apps that should be able to succeed at helping me manage those relationships, the Twitter app for Android is proving to be one of the most infuriating apps that I think I've ever had to use. And if it weren't for sort of the artificial device limitations that other apps are now having to go through because Twitter is putting the hammer on third-party Twitter apps and services, I would drop this piece of mess in a heartbeat. So folks, that's my cranky little rant on Twitter. I hope you have enjoyed. Please tell me how I'm wrong, or if there's another app I should be checking out instead for using Twitter, especially on my Android devices. I can get by just fine on my Windows phone. I have a lot more visual information and conveyance on Windows Phone of all platforms than I do on Android. And especially if you folks have recommendations for an app that functions kind of like Plume, which will allow me to tie all of my Twitter services into one main feed, I would really appreciate it. So as always, folks, thanks so much for watching my videos, sharing my videos, subscribing to my channel, leaving me those comments down below. I would love to hear your recommendations on a better Twitter app to use for Android. Hit that thumbs up button, and I will catch you all on the next video.